Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you want to find out how I've created this ultra glam smoky eye, then please keep watching and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So I did my first eye off camera as I didn't really know what I was going to film and I just started playing around and this is what I came up with. So for my base I am going to use the MAC Select Cover Up in the shade NC15. And I'm just going to apply that to my eyelid using the MAC 252 brush. I already done my eyebrows off camera and I just used the Anastasia Dip Brow in Soft Brown and the Zoeva Brow Line brush. So taking my 252 brush from MAC, I'm just going to start applying that all over the eyelids, using a patting motion to just pat that on. And then we're going to slowly start bringing it up towards the eyebrow to carve it out. And you just want to keep patting that into the skin to make sure it goes all matte, and then we can apply the eyeshadow. So once the base is nice and matte, I'm going to take my Violet Voss Holy Grail palette and I'm going to take the shade Transition on my MAC 217 brush. So I'm just going to apply that into the centre and in really small sections and blend that outwards. And when you're doing this, you really want to focus on the shape. So you don't want to bring it out too far as you want to keep the shape quite circular. So once you've got that shape, you just want to start blending the edges to make sure they're really buffed out. Once that's blended out, I am going to take the shade Brownie Points, which is this shade here. I'm going to take that on my BH Cosmetics number 6 brush and I'm just going to start packing that onto the outer edges of my eye. Really just pushing that product in, focusing on the shape. I'm then going to take that same shade right on the tip of the brush and I'm going to just use swiping motions and just take that through the crease. And then going in with that first shade, I'm just going to slightly buff the edges out. I'm then going to go in with the darkest brown shade called Teddy Bear and do the exact same, just pack that on those areas that I just applied that dark brown colour. So once I've done all of 3 colours, I'm then going to take my MAC 252 brush and some more of the Select Cover Up in the shade NW15. Just going to make sure that both sides of my brush are coated and I'm going to carve out where I want my spotlight to be. I always bring it up until where I think the crease is and then I look straight forward and then the concealer kind of transfers to where you need to cut your crease. So once you have done that, I'm then going to just remove the excess concealer off of my brush and I'm just going to pat on the edges so that they're not really harsh and that the shadows can blend over them easier. I'm then going to take my 237 Detailed Shader from Zoeva and I'm just going to take my Becca Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Moonstone and I'm just going to apply this to the centre of where I've just put concealer just to give my pigment a base, and this will just help it be a lot more shinier and a lot more glossy. This is for our love. Will leave the world behind. Can you feel this? So I'm then going to go back in with the lighter brown shade from my Violet Voss palette, and that was the shade Brownie Points. I'm just going to take that on my BH Cosmetics number 6 brush, and I'm just going to pat over the edges of that concealer. And once I've done that, I'm just going to take the darker shade Teddy Bear and just go back over those areas again. So once you're happy with where you have created your halo and you have blended out all the shadows, I'm just going to blend that a little bit more. I always think with spotlights these bits don't actually have to be that blended. Like, you can blend them, but I just like it when the lid really pops. Then going to take my pigment from Peaches Cosmetics. This gorgeous, gorgeous. Hang on, are we going to focus? No. I don't even want to talk about what just happened. I was holding up my pigment to show you guys and it just poured over my whole dressing table. I've gone like this, concealer in my hair. No worries. So we're just gonna, you know, move on from that. I'm going to take my Zoeva 237 detailed shader and the pigment Gatsby from Peaches and Cream, and I'm just going to first spray some of my Mario Badescu spray onto my brush just to make it nice and wet to pick up the pigment. I'm just going to pat that in and I'm just going to swipe it down the lid. Then going to take my NYX liquid crystal liner. It just looks like this. And I'm going to just carve out the line that is in my crease just using the glitter. This just makes it pop a little bit more. I'm then going to apply my other eyelash, which is Tatty Lashes in TL4. So now that I have applied my eyelash, my eyes are complete and I can now move on to my base. So I'm going to prep my skin with the Nib and Fab Dragon's Blood Fix Plumping Serum. I am then going to go in with my foundation, and today I am going to use the Hourglass Vanish Stick in the shade Beige. This is such an amazing foundation and I'm well aware that it's like 500 shades too dark for me, but I desperately need to fake tan. So I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender and start blending that in. For my concealer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Sand. Let's explore our love. We'll leave the world behind. Can you feel me? Now that my concealer's blended out, I'm going to set that using my Beauty Bakery powder in the shade Translucent, and I'm just going to take that on my Mr. Perfect brush by Too Faced. my bronzer, and today I'm going to use Hoola from Benefit. I'm just going to take my BH Cosmetics brush in number 3, and I'm just going to bounce that along my cheek. Then I'm just going to dust that along my forehead. So I'm now going to go with my highlighter, and today I'm going to use the Becca Cosmetics shade Moonstone, and I'm going to just spray my brush and then just swirl it around quite a few times and then just apply. When you take the lips to time, let's explore our love. I'm then going to take my Zoeva 227 brush, and again I'm going to just spray it, and this is going to go the same highlighter under my brow bone and in my inner corner. My eye makeup and do the under eye. So I'm going to take my MAC 217 brush and that shade Transition, which was my first shade on top, and I'm just going to dust this under the eye. Then I'm going to take the second shade I used, which was Brownie Points, on my Luxe Pencil 230 brush by Zoeva, and I'm just going to take that on one side of the brush and I'm just going to dust that on. And then finally, using that same brush, I'm going to take the darkest shade and apply this almost in my waterline, but underneath it as well, and just really blend that in. I'm then going to go in with my 217 brush and just blend all of those shades together. And finally, to finish my eyes, I'm going to apply my MAC Extended Play Mascara to my bottom eyelashes. For my blusher, I'm going to take my Real Techniques blusher brush and my blusher from MAC, which is in the shade Gingerly. I'm just going to swirl that around because there's not a lot in there, and I'm just going to dust this along the tops of my cheeks. I love this shade. It's like an orangey shade and it's so subtle, but it does make a difference. So for lipstick, I'm going to take my favourite Strip Down liner, and I'm just going to line my lips. Let's explore our love. We'll leave the world behind. Can you feel this? I'm then going to go in with the shade Peach Stock by MAC, which is like a gorgeous nudie orange gorgeousness. Then finally, I'm just going to go in with my Mario Badescu facial spray, and I'm just going to spritz that over the face to make the powder and everything just, you know, settle together and look more fresh. That literally smells amazing. So this is my finished look. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.